Hello and welcome to another episode of the Idle Hands Workshop. Today we're going to test and play with some cheap Chinese tools for leatherworking. Say that 3 times real fast. Anyway, I got some tools I've been using for a couple months now. Got back into leatherworking after watching a guy on YouTube, goes by dieselpunk.ro. Name's Tony. Great guy, got me back into leatherworking. Anyhow, some of the tools he had I did not have where I needed to upgrade, and his looked a lot better than the ones I had. So, off to Amazon I went. And on Amazon I found a lot of cheap Chinese tools. There, I said it right that time. So anyway, what you're looking at now is some scraps of leather, a little tiny piece of a pattern, part of a candle, and some masking tape. Got that set on my board. And here are the hole punches. Single hole punches. Whack them with a hammer, they make a hole. Pretty high tech, huh? Construction's great. Looks like they're all milled out of 1 or 2 pieces of metal depending on the size. Sharp, have no problems with them. So the first thing we're going to do is tape the template down onto the leather using masking tape. Masking tape is great because you can see the pattern underneath it, so don't use the blue painter's tape. It won't work the same. So now that that's all taped down, next thing we're going to do is grab the candle. This is where it gets really neat. Rubbing the candle wax over the pattern like that is going to make it so much easier for your hole punch to come back out. And you get to see later on, I think I hit a couple spots that it doesn't pull out. There's my Pittsburgh hammer, just like one that he uses. He refers to his as the ugly wife. I don't have an ugly wife, so... And here we go. This is the 1.5 millimeter hole punch. You can see it just goes right on through, and that's 10 ounce leather. You always want to make sure you got something underneath your leather. In this case, it's a big old piece of plastic used cutting board. That'll keep you from tearing up your cutting mat, dulling your tools, etc., etc. So here I'm going to go through some of the different sizes. The bigger ones, yeah, they take a little bit more to whack in there. But all of the ones in this set worked really good, and I will have links to all these tools down in the description. You can go buy them for yourself. The hole punch set, I can't recommend it enough. It's great. It has replaced my rotary punch. It's replaced my old Tandy punch. And after you get used to it, you could just mow through poking all the holes in your project faster than you could with a rotary tool. Whack, whack, whack. So yeah, there's the whole set. I think off the top of my head I paid like 10-15 bucks for it. And you gotta love free Prime delivery. So up next is my quarter round punches. These I was kind of skeptical on looking at them. It's a metal shaft with a cutting tip welded onto it. They are not the prettiest things on the planet by any sense of the word. but they make really nice corners, a lot better than trying to cut them with scissors or a straight blade. Now, got off camera with that one a little. Got a new camera, by the way, and that's what I'm using here. Now, the only thing you got to be careful on, especially with the smaller ones, is they will have a tendency over time to bend at the weld, unless you use them straight up and down. I haven't had any problems with mine so far. And I'm just going to use this one. There's no need to really use all of the others. They do the same thing. They cut a quarter circle. Some of the bigger ones, you kind of have to rock them a little bit just because they're trying to cover so much of an area, but they work great. And off to the right hand side, you'll see a little case. Picked up one of those little craft boxes at Michael's for 15 bucks. It had all those little cases in there. I just took some EVA foam. There's another one on the left hand side. And made EVA foam trays to put all the tools in. Now you're looking at the half rounds. These are actually a lot prettier. The welds seem a lot beefier. It looks like they're almost galvanized. But they work pretty much the same way, except they cut half a circle. Grab one. Now these, I've noticed, I definitely have to rock back and forth in order to get them to cut, especially on the big ones. We'll just grab that one there and give it a few whacks. We're going to make a little leather disc. There's also something a lot more satisfying about whacking things with a hammer, especially after a long day of work. But you can see, putting it together, I was able to make a perfect circle. And again, I think the quarter round and the half round sets each cost me about 15 bucks tops with free Prime shipping. Now these I got a little bit later, and they're my slot cutters. Work the same way as the hole punches, and these are just a beast. They are solid tubes, except for the cutting head. Few whacks to get it going, and then, see, I haven't even used these that much, but you can see it makes a perfect slot. It'd be good for buckles and other things. And this one, it's going to take a few to get it in there. And just when you think you've got it, you look at the underside and you got to do it some more. Another nice perfect slot. And again, I don't think these tools cost very much. They're cheap. They come out of China. And if you're just getting started in leatherworking, buy them. With the exception of, I think it's coming up now. Ah yes, these, the diamond lacing punches. The 1, 2, and 4 hole are okay. That 6 hole, not so much. It's good for marking, and that's about it. Maybe with a little sharpening they'll do better, but this is a set that you can live without. You don't absolutely need. I mean, it's well constructed, nice solid piece of metal. They're just not sharp, and they don't really perform all that well. Yeah, I'm trying to show you, but I'm still getting used to this camera. Yeah, kind of iffy on these. But just remember, the whole thing is you get what you pay for. You can go spend a lot of money and get the high-end tools, and they're going to work the same. Now this is what I replaced. This is my old Tandy, I think they call it a multi-punch. You change the size out on the handle. Bulky, it's heavy, and eventually it mushrooms out like that in no time. Try to think if there was anything else I pulled out in this video. Looking and I'm not seeing. Just off camera, I'm going through my bin. Oh wait, yes, there is one more thing. Let's see, I think coming up, I got this neat little wooden case for leather sewing needles. Yeah. It's got like 40 needles in there, made out of wood, brass fittings, and the needles actually have a point. So definitely got to be careful with those. I'm going to take a couple of them and put them through the lacing holes I just punched. Ta-da! They work. And that's about it. I think I'll show you what it looks like up close here in a second if I get it on camera right. Oh, the ugly wife, the little leather donut, scrap leather. And aside from a little straight razor, X-Acto blade, or something to cut the leather with, everything you've seen in this video is good to get you going with leatherworking.